Hello, it's Simon Zutshi here. And in this video, I'd like to explain to you the Mastermind Success Accelerators. These are the 10 secrets that some of our most successful mastermind students have used to smash this target and sometimes achieve a £100,000 profit every year for the rest of their life in just 12 months. Now, does everyone do that? Of course they don't. But success leaves clues. I want you to listen very carefully in this video because I'm going to share some really simple but powerful secrets that can make you a far more successful property investor. So my name is Simon Zutshi. I'm the author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 property bestseller. I'm the founder of the Property Investors Network, the largest network around the UK for property investors and now expanding around the world. And I've been investing in property since 1995. And I've been teaching other people just like you since 2003 how to become successful investors. And over that time, I've helped literally thousands of people to not only start their investing, but also get to the point where they've replaced their income. And there are some common characteristics. There are these 10 success accelerators that all the successful people have used. So let me run through each of these in turn so you can start adopting these. So first of all, the first secret, the success accelerator, is recognizing that you really need to invest in yourself. By spending time watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, obviously you're investing your time. But when it comes down to it, time is your most valuable asset. So really the most successful people actually invest in themselves. They pay to come on training and coaching to make sure they're getting the correct information organized in a format. So they don't have to spend hours and hours trying to learn everything for free. They recognize investing in themselves as one of the best investments they can make, followed very closely, of course, by investing in property. And also, when you invest in yourself, you get a psychological upgrade. It's kind of giving yourself a boost of confidence because you believe in yourself. And also, when you invest in yourself, you become more investable. If you want someone to lend you money to help grow your property portfolio, they're not going to do that if you're not even prepared to back yourself and invest in yourself. So it really is the first step. Now, you don't have to go and spend lots of money. You can start very small. Always do your due diligence because not all property training is the same. And I'd recommend you watch lots of free YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and make sure you really resonate with people before you do any training with them. And also check that they have become very good at sharing and transferring what they have learned by teaching other people how to be successful. So you want to make sure they've got lots of successful case studies. So first of all, invest in yourself. The next success accelerator, and there's a lot of my masterminders do this, so people who sometimes have property already, is to look at your existing property portfolio and ask yourself this question: am I really maximizing the rental income and return on investment from my current assets? Maybe you have a single let property that you can convert into an HMO, a house of multiple occupation, or into serviced accommodation. Two fantastic strategies which generate high cash flow and are perfect for the current economic climate. So can you repurpose existing property? Or maybe you've got something that can be developed, extended. You can enhance the value, refinance, and take a load of cash out of it. So that's the second thing you want to do, is look at any property you have, can it be repurposed? The next thing, the success accelerator, the thing I've noticed that all of these really successful people have is they have a very open mind. They recognize that they don't know what they don't know. They know they can always learn more. And rather than trying to work everything out for themselves, they put themselves in an environment where they can meet like-minded people. They can learn from other people so they don't have to go through the trial and terror that most people go through when trying to learn on their own. So it's really important to have an open mind. Even if you're a really successful investor already, maybe there's someone who's more successful than you and you can learn from them to accelerate your success. Next on my list is have a pipeline of deals. It's really important because a lot of people, they might find a property deal, they take months and months to get the deal done. And at the end of that time, they've got a property, great. But to get the next one, they've got to go right back to square one, start looking for deals again. Now, by the way, that deal might not happen. So sometimes people spend months and months working on a potential project and it doesn't happen. It falls over. And at the end of all that time, they've got nothing to show for all their time and effort. But if you have a pipeline of deals, it doesn't matter if one deal falls over because you've got a next one ready to go. So you should have some deals where you're marketing, you're looking for potential deals, somewhere you're speaking to sellers and speaking to landlords, somewhere you're negotiating, somewhere you're following up, somewhere you've actually got a deal agreed, somewhere you're going through legals and the financing, and finally, somewhere you've actually got the property, you're now getting it ready to tenant and then giving it to a letting agent. So you need a whole pipeline of deals at different stages. So if a deal falls over, you can quickly get another one. And also when you've finished one, the next one's ready. You're not wasting months and months to get to your next deal. Now, linked to that, point number 5, Success Accelerator number 5 is you need to follow up. Now, this might sound obvious, but most people don't follow up. They look at a property, they get excited, they make an offer. Often that offer is rejected. They think, oh, they're not interested, and they move on to the next new property. Well, something you need to understand that all sellers become more motivated with time. At first, they may not be motivated. Most sellers want to get the maximum they possibly can for their property. However, if it doesn't sell, or if it sells and the sale falls through once, twice, or even 3 times, that seller's becoming more and more motivated, more and more desperate to get someone who will do what they say they're going to do and actually buy their property from them so they can move on with their lives. So as sellers become more motivated, they're more flexible on the price and all the terms of the sale. So you need to follow up. A lot of the deals that my mastermind students do, there wasn't a deal at first. This seller wasn't interested in what they were proposing, but my mastermind kept on following up, particularly if sales fall through. That's the point you want to go back and make sure. So you need a really simple system to make sure you are systematically following up on every single seller you've spoken to. If you only do one thing as a result of watching this video and you're in property and you've made some offers, you've spoken to some agents about particular deals, just go back and revisit all of those straight away. And you never know, some of the deals might have fallen through, which means maybe the seller is more motivated and you can get a better deal next time round. The next thing is momentum investing. So this is otherwise known as BRRR. So this is where you find a property that needs some work doing to it. You buy that property, you refurb that property, you do the improvement work, you then refinance it. So you bought it, you spent money, you've increased the value, and based on the new higher value, you can refinance and sometimes take all or at least most of your money out and go and buy another property deal. So it's the way to quickly recycle your money. If you are just buying a property, putting your money in and waiting for the market to go up, you could be waiting 3, 4, 5, 10 years before you can refinance and use that money for another deal. So the way people get really good results very quickly is recycling their deposit money. Now, linked to that, the next step is you might think, well, that's great, but I don't have much money to start with. So one of the other success accelerators is that you really need to start thinking about creative finance. Now, there are some strategies that do not require a lot of money, such as rent to rent, where you rent a property from someone and you rent it out in a different way for a higher rent. So the rent you pay the owner and the rent you pay charge your tenants, there's a profit for you in the difference. So you can do that. You can do better than rent to rent is purchase lease options. Similar to rent, you take a property on, you give a guaranteed rental income, but you also have the right to buy that property in the future. And if the value of that property goes up, it means you can get potential capital growth as well as monthly cash flow from a property you don't even own. Then there are things like vendor finance, where you actually buy the property, but the vendor who's got plenty of equity in that property, and they're only going to stick the money in the bank, they decide to lend some of the money to you to help buy the property instead of putting it in the bank. That's because they get the sale they want, they get the full price, and they get more money than they would from a straightforward sale. It's great for you because you don't need to use your money to buy the property, and the extra you pay the landlord, the owner, comes from the rental income of that property. So it's a great strategy. A lot of people don't understand it. It doesn't work with traditional lenders. You need to use bridging companies typically, or crowd property, which is one of my other businesses. So creative finance is really important. And then also you can use other people's money, such as private loans, such as joint ventures, which many people are familiar with. But don't limit yourself to your personal resources. So number 8, Success Accelerator, is thinking big. It's really important for you to set high goals that you want to reach. And by setting high goals, if you don't quite get there, even if you only get half a goal, it's still an amazing result. So push yourself, push your comfort zone. Don't set achievable, realistic goals. Think really big. Don't worry about how you're going to do something. Just think about what do you actually want to achieve. We've had some people who have completely smashed this. And at the beginning of their 12-month mastermind program, they didn't know how they were going to do it. That evolved over time. But set the intention, first of all, about what you want to do. Now, one of the ways you can think big is actually Success Accelerator number 9, which is where you can do mega deals. A mega deal is where you can typically make £3,000 to £5,000 profit every month. Let me say that again. That's £3,000 to £5,000 profit every month after all expenses from just one property deal. Now, if you're completely new to property, it's unlikely your first deal is going to be a mega deal. But if you already have some properties, when you know how, there's no reason why your next deal couldn't be a mega deal, particularly if you're using some of the other success accelerators that I've already mentioned. And finally, Success Accelerator number 10 is to have a coach, have a mentor, someone who's more experienced than you, who has traveled the journey you are trying to travel, and they know what you're going through. They understand the challenges. They can pick you up and motivate you. They can hold you to account. They can make sure you're doing the things that you know you need to do, but maybe you're not doing because maybe you're letting yourself off. So to summarize very quickly, these 10 success accelerators are, first of all, invest in yourself. Secondly, make sure you have repurposed any existing property to maximize the profit. Number 3, have an open mind. Make sure you are teachable so you don't have to work this out on your own. Number 4, have a pipeline of deals. So if a deal falls over, it really doesn't matter. That links to number 5, which is follow up. Follow up on every single seller and landlord you speak to about their properties, because you never know if their sales fallen through. You could be there at just the right time. Number 6, use momentum investing, otherwise known as BRRR, to recycle your deposits very, very quickly. Number 7, use creative finance strategies. Recognize that sometimes money is required for property deals, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your money. Number 8, think big. Set yourself really big, challenging, uncomfortable goals just to really stretch yourself. Number 9, think about doing some mega deals that might make you £3,000 to £5,000 profit every single month. And number 10, get a coach or mentor to hold you to account, to support you, to guide you through your property journey. Now, I've got some extra online training going deep into these, all about how you can replace your income really quickly with our help. So I recommend you look for the link below. Come and join that online training. I'm going to go into a lot more detail about these things, particularly things like mega deals, to really speed up the process of you replacing your income. So come and watch that free training. And I've also lined up some videos, which I think you'll find really interesting. These are from my 100K club. These are people who've done my mastermind program, and in less than 12 months, they've created an income of over £100,000. That's every single year for the rest of their life. If you watch these videos, it will build your belief on that this can be done, first of all, and also that you could do it. And they leave you hints and tips about what they've done and how they've done it as well. So I highly recommend you watch the next video coming up, but also make sure you click on the link below in the description and register for this online training with me, all about how to place your income really, really quickly. So if you like this video, please like the video, please put a comment below. Come and answer as many questions as I can. Enjoy the rest of my YouTube videos, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these videos that come out on a very regular basis. As ever, I encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill. Click on the link below to come and join the live training, and enjoy the next video. I do hope you got massive value from watching this YouTube video. I'd encourage you to click on the link below to come and do the online training with me. And I've got another video lined up for you, which I think is also going to be really useful, that you should watch once you've registered for the online training with me. So invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you very soon.